All right, now it's time for self-reflection. So I want you to think about some of these things. And if anything comes up, even that I don't have mentioned here, I would like you to go ahead and journal that so you can really explore that. And hopefully, if you have a therapist that you're working with, you can bring that to therapy and work with that as well. So, what did I see growing up that was scary to me at the time, even movies or shows? So, whether that was at home or things that I witnessed, right? What did I witness? So here we go. Here's that next question. What did I witness my family do with difficult emotions? So how did my family handle anxiety, stress, anger? Why is this important? This is important because where am I supposed to learn as a child how to deal with my emotions? I can remember once working with a young mother, and she came in and said, "Gosh, my child, he is slamming doors and yelling and throwing fits." And I asked her, I said, "Well, what do you do when you're angry?" And she's like, "I slam doors and I yell and I do all these things." And not to berate anybody for any of that, but where is the child going to learn to like go take 10 deep breaths and go for a walk? Like he's not going to learn that unless somebody teaches him that, right? So I want you to think about, what did I witness my family do with difficult emotions, right? Because that's going to give you kind of a little bit of a roadmap of like why maybe you do some of the things that you do and how you handle stress and anxiety, perhaps the way that you do, or other emotions that when suppressed will kind of bubble up as anxiety, right? So, how did my family and peers handle my emotions or anxiety? So, this is important because this is where you learn how it was safe or not safe to express your emotions. If you went to your family and you were scared about something and they said, "Well, you just need to get over it," that's not really meeting you where you're at. That's not giving you any tools to help you. And it's really invalidating. So, if you hear that enough times, you're going to just swallow it and swallow it and swallow it and pretend like everything's okay, which I do see happen sometimes with people. Like they're just on the outside seem so tough, but really on the inside, they're hurting and they're maybe scared or have a lot of feelings about things, but they haven't voiced what's going on. So I want you to think about, did people make it safe for me or unsafe for me to express feelings? That's really what that question is asking. Did I witness or experience domestic violence? So that's fighting in the home, becomes physical, physical fighting in the home, but also emotional fighting in the home. Abuse. So when I talk about abuse, I mean of any kind: emotional, physical, sexual. Neglect. So were you lacking in things? So whether that was food or shelter or love, clothing. Frequently moving, that's a big one too. I didn't bring that up earlier, but moving a lot, that can create a lot of anxiety, having to meet new people wherever you go too and make new friendships. And sometimes some of us will just shut out other people because why do I want to get close if I have to leave again? Poverty, unrealistic expectations from parents or family, where they expecting you to be perfect. Sometimes we can get messages of, I only love you if you're perfect. I'll only give you love and support and praise if you're doing everything perfect. That's a rough one. Bullying, is that something that you experienced before, or maybe you're experiencing now? War, death, violence, trauma, personally or hearing about it, that vicarious traumatization that we discussed earlier. What stressors am I experienced or have I experienced in the recent past? So think about some of the stuff that we discussed, even good stress, bad stress, all of it, changes, things that I didn't expect. What unknowns am I dealing with? That's where that next one is: any major or sudden changes. And what areas do I feel out of control in my life? I really want you to start thinking about these things because all of these hugely contribute to anxiety. And these are the things that we're wanting to overcome. And if we're not aware, it makes it sometimes pretty difficult to change, right? So if we're aware, then we have more power and control, and then we can start to make those change. And sometimes just naming it can be hugely beneficial. So please do this exercise. You will get the most out of this if you go ahead and do that. Thank you.